tight. Hold my baby squid, keep them out of sight. Talking about my life, government, stay away. If you drive, I'ma do it my own way. Squid in the ocean, swimming all alone. Ain't nobody telling me where to go. Living free, gotta stay true to myself. No need for interference from anyone else. Squid pro quo, that's the way to be. Living on my terms, setting myself free. I'm to my baby, protecting with my no government intrusion. I control my life.
Hey guys, it's Squid. Welcome back to the channel. Baby Squid is currently in the process of rearranging her shelf. Hope everybody had a great night. My adventures in homebrewing, things didn't get heated with that troll. I could care less. I was just antagonizing her because it's fun. Because that's what I do. Because I could care less about anything those trolls say about my parenting. Hey, Baby Squid, are you happy? Are you healthy? Do you love mommy? Yeah, that's all I need to know right there. And that's all I care about. And her opinion and Mr. Squid's opinions are truly the only ones who matter. So, yeah, trolls are fun to F with. Well, I knew what she was doing, and it was like, let me call you out so I see you. And then, let me open up my control room. And then we are going to get into this. I promised you guys another Maya stream yesterday, and I'm just realizing how god awful my lips look right now without any they're chapped to all heck right now. I marked the calendar. Lori wasn't late. And I thought I saw a good morning to everybody who's here. I thought I saw a comment about what was going to happen to what's the timeout for everyone. Hopefully nothing. My only chat rules are don't say anything that's going to get me yeeted from YouTube. Don't be rude to me, any guests I have, or my mods. And respect the fact that we all don't agree in here. And it's fine to not agree with someone as long as you are respectful about it. If you're a disrespectful ass and you're just calling people names for the sake of calling people names, then we will time you out. My timeout defaults to 5 minutes, I've learned. But my mods can do what they... Yes, right there. Agree to disagree. We all come at things with different life experiences. For those of you who know, you know that I don't have the time, effort, or give a damn to go back 3 years and see everything. I am looking at things from, regardless of my personal opinions, because obviously I have them. I am looking at things from what the judge sees and what the jury may see, because I kind of had a agree to disagree moment with Mr. Coop yesterday, because he was saying, well, there's context to everything. I completely understand that there's context to everything. However, this is scheduled to be a jury trial, and the only thing that can possibly get in is what the judge says the jury can see. So if the judge is not giving context in documents, the judge does not know context. So it's documents are everything. In the sense of the documents are the only thing the judge sees. And based on what's in the documents, the judge says what the lawyers can allow into evidence and discovery, and that is what the jury will see. So I understand everybody has opinions. I respect your opinions on both sides. I don't agree 100% with anybody's opinions, and that is completely fine. Because I don't know everything. I know bits and pieces, and I hear this and I hear that and I see this and I see that. But as a whole, like, I can't give you a timeline because I just don't care. I don't have the time, effort with all the other cases I'm covering to go back that far. So hey, Robo 770, morning from Scotland. How is Scotland well, for you guys it's this afternoon. So I am looking strictly from the legal perspective. I have my own opinions. And for those that are on the hater side that say, I see you're trying to remain neutral, but you can't, preface this. I've said everybody sucks from the start. And when I said that, one side proceeded to attack me, where the other side said, I don't agree with you, but whatever. When one side personally attacks you, it's a little hard to stay completely impartial. I'm just going to say, like, just stay, when someone attacks your character and your ability as a mother, yeah, opinions are like assholes. We all have one and they all stink. Yep. Wingnut, you're from Northern Ireland. How are you this morning? How are my UK people? And Baby Squid is now playing with her pots and pans in her little kitchen set. So, and the people who the troll last night who was like, she was on the table, like she let her on the table and playing with the chandelier. One, she can touch the chandelier and she doesn't really do anything. You can't really F it up. Secondly, I would rather have her right here sitting on a table than somewhere in my house where I can't see her climbing on something that I can't see. Because her new thing is to carry around my suitcase, stand on it so she can reach different things, because she can't carry around her step stool, but she can carry around an empty suitcase and it's a hard shell, so she can stand on it and reach things. That's her new thing. And she disappears underneath the bed, which is kind of not fun for me because I can't easily like get to her. Yeah, if she's happy being with mom and everybody else can do one. And it's the thing of like, stay off YouTube and be with your daughter. I am here 24/7. I am here 24/7, 365. I don't even really get to go grocery shopping by myself. So it's like, but those are the same people who wouldn't talk crap if I had a job and I was gone 40 hours a week plus travel time. So like, that's what makes me laugh about it, because there's no pleasing people who don't like you. So I don't try. Because it's a waste of time and effort. Let's see. I downloaded this there we go. And because this morning she got up at 4 a.m. running around the house wanting a banana, sleep is a little elusive today. So excuse me if my reading ability is not up to par. If you can get to make a living online and have family time, they're all just jealous. Well, it's one of those things of like, YouTube's not a lot of money by any means, because I don't have the subscribers that Megan, Tug, some of the other people have. That I could potentially make a living. This is just grocery money. Alrighty. So, as everybody is probably well aware, because I was told by multiple people, Bubbles filed a new motion to move or to transfer the case out of Pensacola. Thanks. I literally brushed my hair and put contour on because, yeah, the dark circles are real this morning. Would they be okay if they're watching soap operas all day? Yeah, it's just one of those weird situations. Who are they to tell you how to live your life? Yeah, it's like I am online when she is awake for a maximum of like 3 hours. with no travel time. Like, literally, no travel time. Hey, Gina. Hi from Sydney, Australia. You do you lovely. Some of these people are just nuts. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's why I just laugh, because it's just like, I don't like, I've learned enough in my life that when someone doesn't like you, there is no pleasing these people. They will hate you for working. They will hate you for being a stay-at-home mom. Because I'm the trad wife. No, I'm technically a college graduate with a degree in occupational therapy assistant, who worked in a hospital until COVID, and then moved to a different state, was kind of given the option, either get the Fauci ouchie or don't have a job. And I chose, because I have a 90% service connected VA disability, and I get a little bit of VA money every month, that not paying for childcare and being able to raise our daughter the way we wanted to raise our daughter, is better than me trying to find a job that pays $30 an hour so I can cover $600 a week in childcare. It's not really my idea of a good time. All the money I would be making from a job would go straight out the window. So I believe the court assigned it, because this is the Northern District of Florida, and this is the main, correct me if I'm wrong, but all the court cases that I've ever covered of the Northern District of Florida, and now I'm up to like 4, have been in Pensacola. So I'm not sure. Yeah. So, good propose, random question. You've not had appendix bursting pain recently, have you? It's federal. They'll deny the motion. Yeah, Gainesville is state court. Pensacola is federal court. Like I said, the federal system is complex and overwhelming to me. So the case was assigned to Pensacola by Gainesville. There we go. Yeah, that's what I thought. Pensacola is the only federal court for this jurisdiction, but due to grudge judge, all Jeremy's cases are transferred out of that state. Well, out of that county. All right, let's just get into this, because let's see what I just saw this last night. I downloaded it. It's 20 pages long ish, and we are just going to get into it, because I've read a little bit of it, but not enough to let it sink in. Motion to transfer pursuant to 28 U.S. Code 1404A. The defendants, Lynette Preston and John Cook, move pursuant to 28 U.S. Code 1404A to transfer further proceedings in this action to Gainesville Federal Courthouse on the grounds of forum nonconvenience. Okay. This case was filed in the Gainesville Division, which covers Levy County, where all the parties are in-state witnesses reside, but proceedings were assigned to Pensacola, the furthest location in Northern District from Levy County. Okay. So Pensacola has a courthouse. Here's the thing. Pensacola assigned it to Gainesville. The reasoning I'm not privy to, but my informed opinion would be that, like, they have so much to do. It's like going to a doctor's office and, like, hey, you want this doctor at this place, but we don't have an appointment for 6 weeks, but we can get you in next week over in this other location. It's a little bit farther to travel, but it gives you the timeliness that you need instead of waiting. Oh, no, Shizzy looked into it, this one in Gainesville, but they have so much on the docket that it wouldn't be heard. There we go. Okay, that was my info. That would have been my guess based on how things are assigned. He did a pro hoc vice motion, so he is technically, for this case only, allowed to try this case in Florida. He is not barred in Florida, but he is subject to bar rules pursuant to whatever the Pro Hoc Vice motion says, and I have it. I just haven't read it in the last like 2 weeks, except to get the number that he is it's basically his like temporary bar number, for lack of a better way of describing it. It's yeah. Gainesville does try federal cases. Yeah, and it said this because the case was filed in Gainesville Division, so that would be my inkling. I have never been to Gainesville. I have been to Pensacola. So there's the it being all the way in Pensacola keeps the judge and jury unbiased because the ones in Gainesville and Ocala are so close. They know the drama of Pensacola doesn't. Yeah, that's true too. Like sometimes you need it. Forum nonconvenience is the mostly common law legal doctrine through a court acknowledges that the forum or court where the case might have been brought is a more appropriate venue for legal. It's FYI, my grandma had a stool that's about 8 inches high and says, "This little stool is mine. I use it all the time to reach things I couldn't and lots of things I shouldn't. I need one of those." Yeah, and right now she's right here. I took off my shoes here when I was at the computer last night, so like, and this is what we find in my, like she's doing what children do. Because I was on my way home last night when I was watching Tug and Megan, and I have right now a 40-minute drive from my job, which is basically my friend owns a company, and I'm a 1099 employee, and one day a week I help him out with his one of his contracts. So yeah, but I was on my way home from work last night, so I had time where I was by myself and I could sit and listen driving wise, so I couldn't really chat. But when I got home, I instantly hopped on the computer because I saw somebody bring up my name. And it's like, I don't mind if people talk about me, don't care. But like, you know how like I don't like to talk about other people's streams, and Megan and Tug don't like people to bring up other people's streams. Well, bringing up one of my streams in their thing that's not directly related to the thing they're talking about is disrespectful. If they would have been reading something that I read and someone said, "Well, Squid read this and she had this opinion," telling them, "Hey, somebody else or somebody disagreed with you or somebody had a different way of looking at it," fine, because that's on topic. But talking about my daughter in the background of a stream and me talking about ways to try to get her to not suck her thumb is not an appropriate thing to bring up, especially with what happened last night. Like, last night was trigger warning, to say the least. And I have figured out that since becoming a mother, my tolerance for the ability to listen to some of that stuff is not as high as it used to be. Beforehand, before I had baby Squid, I could cover or I could talk about child cases with yes, I would get upset because it's sad, but like I had no personal like blood in the game, so to speak. Oh, pad. Okay. Can you hand it to me, please? Okay. Thank you. Can I have a hug? Can I have a hug? Oh, thank you. Kiss. Oh my goodness. Hey, Angel, we gotta change. Let me see. Oh yeah. Hey guys, go get a drink. Buckle up for this one. And that's different because that was on topic. They were talking about it, so it was kind of along the same topic. But it's like talking about something that has completely like, it would be like talking about my Jaden Rashada case while discussing GA1. It's just, opposite ends of the legal spectrum. I have to go change a if you know, mama stuff. I do have my intermission.
Our hearts beat
to the city streets, we began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun, as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. Afternoon, we lay awake in bed. The laugh so loud as the hours pass. We're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, shout from the top. We're gonna be, we're gonna be two hearts running wild. The best we ever had, and we'll stay on forever.
Hey guys, I am back. Thank you for your lovely amount of patience with me having to do mama stuff. If you know, you know. And thank you, Kathy Stewart, for the $9.99 super chat. Baby's Goods Banana Fund. If you feed the trolls, they eventually get tired and go back under the bridge. You're an awesome mama bear. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Little B, thank you for the 5 gifted Squid Pro Quo memberships. And they went to Dora Rogers, Wayne Gray, Carol Anderson, Bearded Man Steve, and Robo 70 or 770. English is hard. All right. And I appreciate that. You're an awesome mom. We understand mom duties come first. Yeah, and that she does. She comes first, but I have to move her because she gets into my music app, and she is going to potentially get me demonetized because she plays music. Angel, can you take your music? We gotta turn it down. Can you take it over there? Okay. Love you. Bye. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. All right, let's get into this document. I try. I don't know if I'm amazing, but I thank you. I try, and that's all I can do is try my best. And if it works, it works. But I don't want to get my stream monetized because she has the iPad, but she likes to listen to music. She has found how to go into the Apple Music app, and she gets into her favorite playlist. And her favorite song right now is "I'm Good" by David Guetta and BB Rexa. And she just dance. I appreciate that. I can't stay for long. How many lobsters can I tie up before I start being questioned by the ATF? Lobsters aren't real. Anyway, Gainesville was the plaintiff's chosen forum, but he nevertheless refused to consent to a motion to transfer proceedings there under 28 U.S. Code 1404B. Exploiting the inconvenience of Pensacola for his opponents and forcing the defendants to file a motion under 1404A advance the plaintiff's stated purpose for litigating. A lawsuit isn't to win a lawsuit, it's to make you spend all of your money on a lawyer and bankrupt you. That's what the win is. I could care less if I win in court. If I win in a court situation, my goal is to make sure you have no money. That's the goal of the lawsuit. See Exhibit A attached here too. Do you ever think that maybe Jeremy originally wanted it closer to his house, and then he figured out that it would be quicker if they went to Pensacola, so he just did? And even though it's not what you originally wanted, you find out that it's what's best. Like, people change their minds all the time. Like, Bubbles makes it seem like you can only choose one thing and you have to stick with that your entire life. Like, it's just one of those things of like, yeah, Jeremy might have wanted that from the start. And did he not? Truthfully, I don't know. However, like with the doctor example, you might have wanted to get into this doctor because you thought you were going to really like them. 6 weeks, you have to go to another one that can get you in 2 weeks, but you find out you like it better over there. Things happen all the time. People change their mind. Like, yeah, and it's like he has to pay travel time for his lawyers, but he might like the judge or the fact that it's farther away and people don't know the drama. Biggest issue for this motion is Northern District Civil Litigation Division and support staff is stationed in Tallahassee and Pensacola. Well, and Jeff, you are the resident expert on the Northern District of Florida and all things Florida courts. I know what I know, but I don't know what I don't know. And the federal court system is, because we don't cover federal cases very often, it's just one of those things that like you hear about it, but you don't dive deep into it. Well, we're diving deep into it with not one, but two, but possibly 3 cases, because there's a case in DC where the SEC is suing Elon Musk. So we're going to look into that one too. Fireworks will soon, as judge, will have to add Bruce to the suit. Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait. And honestly, every time that I hear a new motion is filed and I look at it, I'm like, please be that one. Please be that one. Please be that one. And it's like, it's a little letdown that it's not. But, you know, hey, Karen's Books. We are looking at the new motion from Bubbles to transfer the case from Pensacola to Gainesville. So basically stating that he's making them pay more and he's making them broke and achieving his goal of making them broke by making them travel all the way to Pensacola like it was his choice. I'm sorry, when you file a lawsuit, they tell you where to go and when to go. You don't really get a big say in that kind of stuff. Hugs. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. You want to say hi? Are you a big girl? Okay. Can I have a kiss? Oh, thank you. I love you. Oh, my goodness. Oh, you want to sit here? No, you can't play with the mic. No. Oh, okay. All right. We're going to read. And one of the reasons that I like having her here is before the age of 3, the more language that a child is exposed to, the better their vocabulary will be. So if I'm reading legal documents, she hears these. And when I was studying for my corrective exercise specialist certification, I would read to her anatomy and physiology stuff. Does she understand it? No, but it will increase her vocabulary later in life. Memorandum in support of motion to transfer. 28 U.S. Code 1404A states, for the convenience of parties and witnesses in the interest of justice, a district court may transfer any civil action to any other district or division where it might have been brought, to any district or division to which all parties have consented. I don't know if Jeremy would consent to this, so yeah, he might have consented like 4 months ago, but everybody has the ability to change their mind. flash, Shan. Squid, wait till she tells you. Comes now, baby squid. Little squid is a better lawyer. Are you a lawyer? Are you gonna be my mama's lawyer? No? Okay. You don't have to. I was just asking. You can do whatever you want to do. Yep. If you work hard enough. Okay. Bye. The 11th Circuit explained in Aldana v. Del Monte Fresh Produce, N.A. Inc., 11th Circuit 2009, it is by now clear that forum nonconvenience test used by Florida state courts is identical to the test applied to the federal courts. Indeed, the Florida Supreme Court has explicitly adopted the federal law of forum nonconvenience. And I know I'm saying that with my northern accent, but I promise I'm doing my best. Florida, 1996. We are persuaded that the time has come for Florida to adopt the federal doctrine of forum nonconvenience. See also Aquamar S.A. v. Del Monte Fresh Produce, 11th Circuit, 1999. Del Monte was sued a lot. Noting that in Kinney, the Florida Supreme Court adopted the federal court's forum nonconvenience analysis announced in Gulf Oil Corp. v. Gilbert, 1947. Under both bodies of law, a forum nonconvenience dismissal is appropriate where 1. The trial court finds that an adequate alternate forum exists which possesses jurisdiction over the whole case, including all of the parties. 2. The trial court finds that all relevant factors of private interest favor the alternate forum, weighing in the balance of a strong presumption against disturbing plaintiff's initial forum choice. 3. If the balance of private interest is at or near equipoise, the court further finds that factors of public interest tip the balance in favor of the trial in the alternate forum. And 4. The trial judge ensures that the plaintiff can reinstate their suit in the alternate forum with undue inconvenience or prejudice. Del Campo Bacardi v. DeLinzen, Florida, 2002, citing Florida Rules of Civil Procedure 1.061. See also Membrano and Aldana v. Del Monte Fresh Produce, 11th Circuit, 2009. In order to be available, the foreign court must be able to assert jurisdiction over the litigation sought to be transferred. Aldana at 1290, there's no issues as to Gainesville being available, and to assert jurisdiction, it already had jurisdiction. And Gainesville assigned it to Pensacola. Suck it up, Buttercup. Oh, I am 100% convinced. I am 100% convinced that this is all about the fact that the judge does not like Bubbles, and the Bubbles does not like being treated like a child in front of the judge. However, you act like a child, you're going to be treated like a child. You get what you give. And I think Bubbles is trying to make every case for why that should not go in front of this judge, and I think this is only his first attempt. I think this is step number 1 of trying to get it out from under this judge's thumb. So, anyone want to bet? I've seen this is denied. I give it till tomorrow. As for adequacy, we have observed that it is only in rare circumstances where the remedy offered by the forum is clearly unsatisfactory that the alternative forum may be regarded as inaccurate. Stats v. McDonnell Douglas, 11th Circuit, 2001. Quotation marks omitted. The alternative forum prong of the analysis generally will be satisfied when the defendant is amenable to process in the other jurisdiction. There is no issue as to adequacy of the Gainesville courthouse. Well, if Shizzy looked into it and it's about the delay or the time frame, which is what would I originally would have thought it was, that would make sense. Then I believe what Shizzy found. Like, it's So you have no case except for this right here. John nailed it on the head. Delay, deny. The judge has 6 weeks to write his response. So I believe he has another week or two. And I believe he is going to take all the time to think this out and write it out and discuss it with his assistants and aides and all of that. It's a federal case. JH could have filed it even if in Ohio if he wanted. Yeah, Gainesville is overwhelmed with cases. This is why it was moved to Pensacola. Time frame. It's it's taking 10 months to hear this case. Judge isn't going to go far. Bruce denied. Yeah, I did. Judge McDreamy is a potted plant. Like, and I'm so bad with AI images. I tried to use Grok, and I don't know if it's the way I describe things, or I've tried to use Bing AI images. I cannot get anything that looks remotely like the judge, where I'm almost willing to take the sticker I made of him, because apparently on my phone I pressed his image a little too hard and I made a sticker from it without realizing it, wrapped in a potted plant, or like coming out of a pot, like like with his arms turning into branches. That's what I envision, but I cannot get Grok or Bing AI images to understand my, like one of those like tomato plant pots, the really big ones, where it's like his arms turn into to branches because he's a potted plant. Like, could you imagine if the judge moves it, then the judge follows them to Gainesville, bubbles would go crazy? I don't know if that would happen, but that would be funny. Like, Judge Bolitho, Zachary Bolitho. I will type it in the chat. And the pronunciation of his last name is Bolitho. I watched an interview that he did because he was a law professor and a federal prosecutor prior to becoming a federal judge. And I think he taught at Campbell Law. And I was watching an interview where the interviewer said, Judge or law professor Zachary Bolitho, and he didn't correct him. So I'm going with yeah. Yeah. Hottie. Yeah. And very young looking for being a federal judge. Like, almost like he was on a path and he hit every, graduate law school, become a professor, become a federal prosecutor, he had a timeline of how he needed to do everything right in order to become a federal judge in his 40s. And here we go. Oh, yes, you are right. Today's the 15th. The phone conversation between lawyers has to happen by today. That should be too bad Bubbles doesn't have Twitter, because that would be funny. You heard he's 37. I didn't actually look up how old he is. I assumed he was older than me, and I'm 39. So if he's younger than me, well, damn. But maybe it's the Florida skin. Like, you can tell he's got a little bit of, if you look up close, you can tell he's got a little bit of sun damage. Well, he needs to moisturize a little bit better. I hope someone records his call for the yelling. Yeah. So they can keep filing anything as much as they want. The deadline, there was some deadlines that the judge had in the scheduling order, and one of those was the 18th of December 18th was the last day for them to add parties to the case, and that's why those filings were done on December 18th or 19th, one of those days. I have it written down in my calendar, but so I have that. After we are done with this, I will show a little bit of that that interview. Because he is talking about a topic that might divide people. He's talking about the Hillary Clinton emails and the FBI director's at the time's press conference and how that was just weird. Because that's usually something you keep quiet. And the FBI director does not say whether they're going to file charges. He refers it to the DOJ and their lawyers make the decision, where Comey did it for the DOJ, which was weird. Yeah. I'm going to hear old as a mindset. I'm 37, but feel 80 most days. Yeah. And that would be probably the best thing to do, as long as he can legally do it, because like it's, I can't remember if Florida is a one-party state or not. I have this right by my desk for those of you who like care about moisturizing, because my hands get Florida wiretap laws. And that's the thing. Recording a conversation when it's a two-party state technically is a wiretap, which is weird. It's just, Florida's a two-party telephone. Thank you. I don't live in Florida, and these are things that like I don't know particulars about. Oh yeah, that one. When Megan was on with Cynthia just sent me a screenshot of the one of the memes, or one of the AI images when Megan was on with Jeremy. Thank you. Florida's a two-party. All my Florida people, or people who have lived in Florida, I appreciate you guys. The police even note it's a recorded line when you call 911. Listen to the 911 recordings. That is a good point. And I know like most people do. Florida's a two-party state. Yep. Okay. So I think Georgia's a one-party state. So I don't have to tell people when I am recording something. But not all states are like that. So I don't assume, because for those of you who are not from the states, most of you have commented to me at one point or another. It's weird and I don't understand it. You can be legal, you can drive 5 miles and be illegal. It's like, I always describe it as, think of like the European Union, how you can go from one country to another pretty easily, but you're in a different country, so you have different laws. Kind of the same thing. Yeah, and honestly, the only thing that could disrupt the scheduling is adding all those defendants. Could disrupt the scheduling, because now it's a completely new case. But that is not delaying this case. It's basically giving a timeline for an entirely new case. Because when you go from 2 defendants to 7, 8, that's a completely new case. Gabby is presenting a case on AJ's stream at noon. I will redirect there if we are done. And hey, Mrs. Yoda, how are you? Check Yoda's subscriber count, by the way. Only people that live in Florida have to appear to 2-party calls to someone in a 1-party state is fair game. That is true too. Yep. Each state is its own country. In America, we are united under a federal government, pretty much. So, Karen's books, you, in theory, could have been one of those people driving by who saw those signs. In theory. According to Bubbles, you have to know everybody who drove by, and you have to name people who saw those signs. But, like you just said, you live close to there, you have to drive by there. So you theoretically could have been one of those people who saw those signs. Yeah. Yeah, and that may push it out, but it won't change the venue. It'll change the timeline, definitely, because now there's a whole bunch more discovery. There's other people's I will do that. Let's see. To home / at Yod. So let me just share this real quick. So for those of you who know Uncle Frank, Yoda's Uncle Frank, collectively YouTube's Uncle Frank, passed away last week of a unfortunate heart attack, and he is greatly missed. He and Yoda were quite close. I mean, of course they're family, but even as family goes, they were like besties. So there will be a memorial service from the VFW in their local area. And it will be streamed on Yoda's YouTube channel. I almost said Facebook channel, and that was not right. He is up to 493 subscribers. He was at, I think, 16 yesterday when I went and subscribed to him. So he oh yeah, and I believe this, but I was just speaking in theoretics of, in theory, you could have potentially been one of those people who drove by but doesn't actually know Jeremy and wouldn't have been like, you know, this is not a crying, because Uncle Frank would have been pissed if we cried over him. But this is a celebration, because y'all know Uncle Frank was fun. Speaking of Uncle Frank being fun, and I'm sorry I've kind of derailed the stream on my own, but here's something to laugh at, Tammy. Mrs. Yoda sent me a picture of Coco, Uncle Frank's dog. Uncle Frank taught her, his dog, every time that she hears the word bubbles, she looks at her butt. That has to be like the funniest thing I've ever heard. That is how much Uncle Frank did not like being trolled by these people. Yeah. But yeah, would not have put the signs to get two and two together. Yeah, but it just, like, theoretically you could have been one of those people who doesn't know Jeremy personally, but would have seen the signs. Which Bubbles tried to make it out like you had to personally know everybody that saw the signs in order for it to be defamation. It's not the way that works. It's not the way that works. The other one is in the bedroom. Here you go. Here you go. No? Okay. Anyone could have seen the signs that were put on the road. People on vacation could have seen the signs. Anyone in the country. Exactly. Thank you, Debbie. Don't let anybody question you being a mom. Yeah, you gotta stay off the table, though. Like, yeah, that is a new low. That is a new low. And he trolled him after he passed away as well, which was just... I think this too. Yeah, I'm convinced that this has a lot to do with it. This case is about the signs, the main part of the case. Yeah. I only brought up the signs is because Karen's book says she lives a couple counties away and has driven through that area, so she theoretically could have been one of those people that saw the signs. Hold on one second. Angel bug. Come on. Thank you. Oh, you're fine. Go by your pad. Oh my goodness. Well. Oh, you saw how that's going. Yeah, it would be nice. But it could be the case too of you saw them and you don't know who Jeremy Hales is, because I didn't. So I would have been like, who? Yeah. Yeah, well, she told me. Yes, she did. Yeah, he using an alternate account went into Mr. Coop and Georgie's stream and chat and called him names after he passed away. So, Angel, down, please. Here. Oh. The magistrate already said that the signs are so vile that the amount of damages doesn't matter for them. And it's just one of those things of one is all it takes to be defamation. I'm kind like, and the thing about this is the thing about this right here is, one, I don't think a competent lawyer would actually take this case. And secondly, the other side keeps saying that Jeremy Hales is using this for content and other people are grifting and using this for content. Bubbles doesn't realize that if he would just keep his mouth shut, there wouldn't be any content. But the fact that he keeps talking is making the content. If he would just stop talking, there would be no content. I mean, I would still have content because I just read the documents and give my opinion on the documents based on what I think the judge would do and what I've seen before and what he has talked about before. Yoda has 501 subs. Bubbles is off between the ears. That's one of the reasons that I know Shizzy started calling him Bubbles, and I don't know why, but I started calling him Bubble Brain because that's, yeah, that right there. They keep talking, which is giving everybody content because it's funny. And I always joke, no matter what side of this topic you're on, you have to admit that some of the sound bites of like anxiety over the roof, it doesn't matter who would have said anxiety over the roof, that shit would have been funny. Like, that is funny. So yeah, Bubbles is a term of love from Shizzy. I just call him Bubble Brain. I keep getting Cocoa Butt. Sorry. Sharon said, no, JC said if Lynette put up the sign, that would have to do with... He's a wet fart in a mud hole. That analogy is hilarious. All right. Let's get back to it since I've derailed this enough. My little gymnast. In Gulf Oil Corp v. Gilbert, 1947, the Supreme Court outlined the relevant public and private interest factors. In considering the private interests, the court listed these. Important considerations are the relative ease of access to the source of proof, of availability of compulsory process for attending of unwilling, and the cost of obtaining attendance of willing witnesses, possibility of view of premises, if view would be appropriate to the action, and all other political problems that make the trial of case easy, expeditious, and inexpensive. There may also be questions as to the enforceability of a judgment if one is obtained. We have continued to recite the same list of private interest ever since Gilbert, see e.g. Liquidation, Commonwealth Banco, Intercontinental, SA v. Renta, 11th Circuit, 2008. Angel Bug. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Aldana 578 3rd District at 1292. The private interest factors being so heavily in favor of transfer, there is no consideration necessary of public interest factors. It is only when the private interest factors are at or near equipoise that a district court is obliged to consider the public interest at stake in a suit. In any event, there is no public interest in this matter continuing to proceed in Pensacola, let alone that one that overrides the private considerations of the accessibility to court for the parties and witnesses. The public interest in this matter is in Levy County. It is likely nobody in Pensacola is even aware of the case. And that is the point. That is the point. If you are going to have a jury trial, you want it where nobody has an awareness of this case. That is supposed to be the point. If you don't have an awareness of the case, you're likely to be more non-biased than if you've been following this shit show for 3 years. Or you've been having to deal with this shit show in your backyard for 3 years. Like if you've watched Shara's videos and you hear some of the 911 calls, and I heard one, and this sticks with me, where Lynette's like, I don't know if you guys are aware of this case, and it was either Lynette or Deanna West that called. They both going back and forth, but the dispatcher was like, everyone is aware of this case. That is the point of when you have a jury trial. That's the point of voir dire. When you voir dire jurors, is you ask them, do you have anything that would make you biased? Have you heard of this case? Have you seen news reports? Have you watched this on YouTube? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's kind of a... It's kind of a thing. That's always in the back of my head that somebody's trying to do that, especially when they want it in someone's backyard. Whereas Pensacola, no one knows of the case. Thank you, Bruce, for making the case of why it should be in Pensacola. Appreciate that. If you hear my my sound go crazy, the little one started messing with my AirPods, which are on my keychain. So like, I don't think I have them attached to this angel bug. Can you put those back, please? No. Okay, then don't. Okay, yep, this right here. I need to get my AirPods disconnected. There we go. Yeah, I did. Usually they default to my phone, but because my phone's not unlocked, they defaulted to my thing, and I just want to make sure that I don't screw up my yeah. She just takes them out of the case and puts them back in. That's our thing lately, is just taking stuff out and putting it back in. Taking stuff out, putting it back in. Which, you know, it's pick your battles, and she's not going anywhere. My AirPods are not going to disappear, so it's like, pick your battles, you know? Finally, there is no issue with respect to being able to reinstitute the case because transfer would not be a dismissal. Every factor for intradistrict transfers favors transfer to Gainesville. This should be good. The decision of the Northern District of Florida in Combs v. Florida Department of Corrections, Northern District of Florida 2020, thoroughly discusses intradistrict transfers such as that sought in the present motion. When addressing opposed motions for an intradistrict transfer, courts analyze such motions using the applicable factors relevant to intradistrict transfers pursuant to 28 U.S. Code 1440 or 1404A. Zanghai versus Freight Car Inc., Western District of Pennsylvania, 2014. Hanning versus New England Mutual Life Insurance Company, Southern District of Ohio, 1989. And C. Generally Stashenko v. McKay, 9th Circuit, 2018. Section 1404A provides that for the convenience of parties and witnesses in the interest of justice, a district court may transfer any civil action to any other district or division where it might have been brought. 28 U.S. Code 1404A. Because an intra-district transfer generally has milder ramifications than transfer to another district, courts are less rigorous in applying the Section 1404A analysis. KB by TB v. Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, Michigan Eastern District of Michigan, 2019. Section 1404A exists to make a venue convenient for parties, witnesses, and the courts. Ferns v. John Deere Company, 1990. It reflects an increased desire to have federal civil suits tried in the federal system at the place called for in the particular case by considerations of convenience and justice. Van Dusen v. Barrick. Section 1404 is designed to minimize the cost in time, energy, and money that may result from litigating action in an inconvenient forum. Dude, an inconvenient forum would be moving this to the Southern District of Florida, not moving it from Gainesville to Pensacola. That is not an inconvenience to you. It's a couple of hours, but yeah. And technically it's still civil. So when this is over, Sarah Boone will have cellmates. Oh my God. That is the quickest no I've ever seen a 2-year-old say. It's almost like she's on autopilot. That's her favorite words. No, oh no, and see you. When she says bye, she goes, see you, see you, see you. So, yeah, civil lawsuits rarely come from civil behavior. Correct me if I'm wrong. All these cases are at state level, not federal. No, these cases are at federal. The Southern District of Ohio, 1989, is federal. Western District of Pennsylvania is federal. So, in ruling on 1404A motions, courts have not limited their considerations to these 3 enumerated factors. In 1404A, convenience of parties, convenience of witnesses, or interests of justice, Jamara v. State Farm, Third District Circuit, 1995. As the Supreme Court has stated, a district court considering a 14... Do you need help? What do you need help with? You dropped it. You want to go get it? You have to get down. Oh, yes. Oh. There you go. As the Supreme Court has stated, a district court considering a 1404A motion must evaluate both the convenience of the parties and various public interest considerations. Atlantic Marine Construction Company. A motion to transfer under 1404A thus calls on the district court to weigh in the balance a number of case-specific factors. In Re Apple Inc., 8th Circuit 2010, stating that a district court should weigh any case-specific factors relevant to the convenience and fairness to determine whether a transfer is warranted. The 3 statutory factors, convenience of parties, convenience of witnesses, and the interest of justice, are broad generalities that would take on a wide variety of meaning in the context of specific cases. To the extent they are relevant to a particular case, courts typically consider at least the following public and private factors. 1, the convenience of the witnesses. 2, the location of relevant documents and the relative ease of access to sources of proof. The convenience of the parties. The locus of operative facts. The availability of process to compel the attendance of unwilling witnesses. The relative means of the parties. They have a truck. They have gas. Ergo, they have a truck, they have gas, they have the means to get there. The forum's familiarity with the governing law, the weight accorded to a plaintiff's choice of forum, and the trial trial efficiency in the interest of justice based on the totality of circumstances. Atlantic Marine Construction Company, Piper Aircraft Company v. Reno, Manual versus Convergence Corporation, 11th Circuit, 2005. Sea General Gulf Oil Company v. Gilbert, 1947. Convenience of witnesses, as explained in Combs v. Florida Department of Corrections, Northern District of Florida, 2020. Yeah, he had to throw in that totality of the circumstances. Plus, it's motel room for Bubbles airfares. He can't stay on the turtle. He can't stay in turtle purgatory when he goes to Florida. Dude is not all together. Special needs. Don't insult special needs. Speaking of that, what kind of crayons do you want for your birthday this year? What color? I heard they have flavored ones nowadays. Sparkly ones. Oh. Section 1404 was designed to protect witnesses, among others, against unnecessary inconvenience and expense. Section 1404A also exists for the benefit of witnesses. The courts have repeatedly recognized the key role of testimony of witnesses in the judicial process. U.S. v. Nixon. Woo! He really threw in that case, didn't he? Because witnesses typically are essential to establishing a claim or defense, they frequently have nothing to gain from testifying. Courts carefully consider the convenience of witnesses in analyzing a motion to transfer. Indeed, various courts have identified the convenience of the witnesses as the most important factor in Section 1404 analysis, and he had to change the color of that. He had to change the color of that. Like, yeah. Too bad macaroni and cheese is no longer being made by Crayola. Green is the green is the best. Green really is the goat. Y'all are funny. Squid, remember Lloyd's camper. Yeah, I mean. All right. The convenience of witnesses is the most important factor in deciding the motion under 1404. In Genentech Incorporated, Federal Circuit 2009, the convenience of the witnesses is probably the single most important factor in transfer analysis. Thanks, Ung Hero, for the $2 super chat. My ex-Marine buddy claims red crayons taste the best. Wouldn't know. Sorry. What are you sorry about? What are you sorry about? I see you too. But what are you sorry about? I see you. I see you. I see you. Dave, you see the world. I like purple. FDA just banned red dye number 3. We'll have to look into that. I have so many things to talk about with y'all. I just can't. I can't organize it all. I feel like I'm behind on so many things. According to a party seeking to transfer venue must make a specific showing of how inconveniences to witnesses support a transfer. How you gonna do that, Brucey boy? Northern District of Georgia, 1989. The most important factor under a 1404A is the convenience of witnesses. He keeps saying convenience of witnesses, but he keeps citing things that say convenience of witnesses. Is he going to tell us which witnesses that would be inconvenienced on their side by moving it to, or by keeping it in Pensacola? All of the Florida listed witnesses in the plaintiff's initial disclosures reside in one of the following towns in Levy County: Otter Creek, 7, Trenton, 5, Bronson, 2, Chiefland, 3, Gainesville, 2. The custodian record of Levy County is also listed. No in-state witnesses are listed with addresses anywhere within 5 hours of Pensacola. All of the Levy County witnesses live less than 1 hour from Gainesville. So he's basically using the fact that Jeremy's witnesses, dude, this is not how that works. This is not how this works. They're the witnesses for is anybody else frustrated by the fact that he used all of Jeremy's witnesses or proposed witnesses to justify this instead of his own? If you're going to do this, Yeah, yes, this right here. He is trying to use Jeremy's witnesses and their distance to Pensacola to justify why they should move it. Why don't you use your own? If the plaintiffs truly and their witnesses had a problem with going to Pensacola, they would have filed this motion on their own. They don't need you to. Oh. I just can't sometimes. Oh. This magistrate is just the magistrate, not Judge McDreamy. Wait, what? Oh. These include all of the punitive defendants named in the pending amended complaint, except the undersigned and David Helm, who is from Michigan. One of the remaining witnesses listed in the plaintiff's initial disclosures, the few with listed addresses are from out of state, which either way, it would be inconvenient for them. Whether it would be Pensacola or Gainesville, if you're from out of state, it's inconvenient no matter what. Like, None of the 52 witnesses listed have any addresses anywhere in proximity to Pensacola, and most of those have no proximity to Gainesville either. So try again. The undersigned emailed one of the plaintiff's witnesses, Shara Wolf, specifically to inquire which location would be more convenient as an out-of-state witness. And Miss Wolf's response to the undersigned was, "Isn't Gainesville most convenient for everyone who can travel? Seems so." Oh my goodness. Happy early birthday. Oh my goodness. Convenience of parties. In assessing the propriety of a transfer to another district or division, courts also should consider convenience of the parties. Empire's Insurance of Wausau. At least I know how to say that. The Fox Entertainment Group, 2nd Circuit, 2008. This factor concerns, among other things, the appearance of employees at court and to some extent the appearance of counsel. Trinity Christian Center of Santa Ana, Inc. Combs v. Florida Department of Corrections, Northern District of Florida, 2020. The parties themselves are in the same geographic disparity between Pensacola and Gainesville. The defendants are of extremely limited means and care for a special needs child. He had to put this in there. He had to put this one in there. Had to. Happy anniversary of your eviction from your Of course, Unhung Hero, you have to make it. Yeah. So he well, it doesn't say when he contacted Shara. He might have talked to Shara about this when she was still agreeing with them, before she had an informed opinion that changed her mind. Like, giving plain devil's advocate, giving him the benefit of the doubt, we don't know when he contacted her, and it might have been when he was in contact with her on a regular basis. Don't know. Don't want to assume and possibly be wrong. The defendants have extremely limited means and care for a special needs child, whom traveling would be especially detrimental and whose care requires her mother's constant personal attention. If it requires her mother's constant personal attention, why was she left out in a hot car while Lynette was in court in Levy County with Judge Grudge? Like, that, there was no constant, there was hours and hours of her being left alone. So they are effectively precluded from attending and following the very court proceedings in which they are named as defendants. What happened to all that money y'all are raising on the hater channels? What's that money for? Oh, that money could be used for gas in a hotel. Angel Bug, can you go throw that in the garbage?
No.
Okay. No. I'll throw it in the garbage in a little bit. The defendants wished to attend the deposition of a plaintiff on December 19th in the Pensacola U.S. District Courthouse, but could not. For the same reasons, they would be unable to attend any proceedings in Pensacola. If the case reaches trial, it would impose a tremendous hardship and financial burden on the defendants to have to travel and remain in Pensacola for an extended period, if not multiple trips. What happened to all that money y'all are raising? Oh, and I can't wait for Shockett's response to this, because the response to this, if I were Shockett, I would be including, because that is the way for you to let the judge know about all the fundraisers and grifting going on, that is supposedly for Lynette and for HG. This would be the perfect time for Shockett to introduce that little tidbit of information to the judge. Yeah, and there will be a response by Shockett, and that I'm hoping that Shockett gets in the fact of all these give, send, go, or GoFundMe's and this and that, and how, they always say the money is going to go to Lynette. Well, if it's going to go to Lynette, yeah. Oh yeah, they could easily travel for a cruise. This is the part that why they should stop talking. This is why when you're possibly named in a lawsuit, you just need to stop talking. Woo! Hey, Lions, I'm not if you can buy rocks, you can buy gasoline. By the way, that's not gaslighting. Hold on, I have to get her for a second. Be right back. Thank you. She started getting a little bit too out of her, like, I don't mind if she's on the table and she's playing with her toy, but the minute she starts getting into things that she shouldn't, we got to stop this. The cruise is fake to mess with us. Never was a cruise. And I believe that. However, when you say it on a podcast and people, or on a stream, and people donate money possibly thinking that you're telling the truth, that is a problem. And that might be all it takes is for Shockett to mention that in a filing and have the judge find out about that, and your hardship excuse kind of disappears. So you could, yeah. The cruise is a joke, but remember, things are taken out of context all the time. And if Shockett wants to stoop to that level, he could potentially take that out of context. And yeah, Lisa can take them in her new car. Oh, Bubble Butts in chat? Or Bubble Brain? Where's he at? Oh, hi, Brucey boy. Haven't seen you in a while. How you doing, my friend? How's it going? These are really interesting writings of yours. Really interesting. And I just don't agree with you that I'm going to give you a piece of advice. And this is legit. Like, I'm not trying to be facetious or be a smartass or anything. But, like, if y'all are constantly raising money and saying that it's for Lynette, the hardship of traveling 5 hours to Pensacola is not going to go very far. Because that means somebody somewhere is lying. And because you are on there and you are putting Esquire after your name when you were on that stream, Bruce, see Depp v. Heard Adam Waldman statements. Might be a very good case for you to look up. And yeah, might be a very good case for you to look up. It's not, Terry, it's not so much of giving him attention, it's letting him make a fool of himself. Because the more he talks, the more he says things that might come back to bite him in the butt, which is kind of funny. So, he is allowed here if he does not get, Squid's analysis is a little shaky. Yeah, just like your legal filings and your ability to ask questions in a deposition. Shaky. Yeah, he doesn't listen to sound advice anyway, so it you know, I see your point, but he doesn't listen to me anyway because I'm not a lawyer. And he's one of those people that if you're not a lawyer or you're not a doctor or you're not this or you're not that, he's one of those people. You have to have the title to even care. So yeah, right there. That's true too. Jeff, it's open mouth, insert webbed foot. Bruce, you should have done a little more research into this case before you took it. I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm just saying. Who chased the ambulance 1,000 miles? Yep, we an equal opportunity offender on Squid Fishing. Hey, Paralegal Liz, how are you, my friend? Oh, Paralegal Liz, we have Bubble Brain in the chat. Bold strategy, Bubs. Let's see how it plays out for you. Thanks, Unhung Hero, for the $5 super chat. Oh my goodness. And what are we up to? $18.99. We are still not at that $25 threshold to see me make a fool of myself. All right. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's what Baby Squid is sending you a message. Uh-oh. I just laugh at them because they think they're getting under my skin and they're not, because you have to actually care for someone to annoy you. I think it's hilarious. And it shows their character, and it's like with people that don't like you, you're never gonna make them happy no matter what you do. I could freaking cure cancer and these people would still hate me. So like, you know, why try to please people who don't like you? It's just a waste of time. But it's hilarious to mess with them and think and make them think you care. Although the undersigned may need to travel to Gainesville, this is a much more convenient destination to reach from Boston than Pensacola. Furthermore, Gainesville is 3 times larger than Pensacola. Where do you have, did you use Google for that? Or did you use a map? Furthermore, as such, the undersigned will be more likely to be able to find and retain local counsel for proceedings there. In fact, the undersigned is in discussions with both a Gainesville firm and a Jacksonville solo attorney, but their potential involvement would hinge on proceedings being transferred from Gainesville and not any location in the Northern District of Florida. It is therefore not only a matter of convenience, but actually is likely to determine whether the defendants can expect to engage local counsel to help them in this litigation. What, you're not enough? You're not enough? I thought you were all they needed. I thought you were their knight in shining armor. More like knight in rusty armor. Location of operative facts. The location of operative facts underlying a claim is a key factor in determining a motion to transfer venue. Hold on. This right here. And I do know a lawyer, or at least he used to be in the Pensacola area. But yeah, that's just a friend of mine who went to law school after he got out of the Navy. But what do I know? Oh yeah, I did talk to my lawyers yesterday, and everything got worked out. Everything is good to go if you know, you know. All right. The locus of operative facts is a primary factor determining whether to transfer venue. To determine the locus of operative facts, courts look to where the events from which the claim arises occurred. And I'm not going to read these citations because I have to get through this quicker because we've derailed a few times. Yeah, according to Baby's Good, if you know, you know. Yeah. The events in this litigation occurred in Levy County. The defamatory road signs were, once again, you admitted that they were defamatory. It's not the brightest thing to do. This is where you say the allegedly defamatory road signs. But thanks for admitting that you are not the oh, you here. Well, guess what? Boo boo. Bye-bye. Sorry. I just feel like annoying you today because I had to read your stupid comments yesterday. The alleged extortion of the plaintiff by the defendants occurred in Levy County. There is no connection whatsoever to any of the operative facts to Pensacola. Availability of process to compel attendance of unwilling witnesses. A court must also must consider whether one venue affords a party the ability to compel unwilling witnesses to testify. Combs v. Florida Department of Corrections. FRCP 45C provides 1. For a trial, hearing, or deposition, a subpoena may command a person to attend a trial, hearing, or deposition only as follows. Within 100 miles of where the person resides, is employed or regularly transacts business in person, or B, within the state where the person resides, is employed or regularly transacts business in person. Interesting. That could be interpreted two different ways. That could be interpreted. And this is where we agree to disagree because there's things that this could be interpreted. A subpoena may command a person to attend a trial, hearing, or deposition within the state where the person resides, is employed, or regularly transacts business in person. This is not is this an and or an or? This is an or. Or, so within 100 miles of where they reside, or within the state where the person resides. Ergo, it's still in Florida. You're lucky they ain't making you travel to Miami. Although that would probably be more fun. There is a federal courthouse in Gainesville, apparently. However, it's still within the Northern District of Florida and still within the state that the parties reside. Just if the person one is a party or a party's officer or is commanded to attend trial, it would not incur substantial expense. What happened to all that money that you've been raising? That is supposedly for Lynette. Wouldn't that be where that money could go to good use? If she's such, yeah. I mean, none of the witnesses listed in the plaintiff's initial disclosures could be compelled to travel to attend trial in Pensacola because all live more than 100 miles away. Nor could they be commanded to appear merely because they reside in the state of Florida. But that's not what the statute, that's not what the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 45C states. It says or. Language is important. Or. Because I said so. I did it because they freaking annoyed me yesterday and I'm not dealing with being derailed by them today. So you don't derail me, Bruce, because you don't commented on a... Yeah, and Bruce, why aren't you asking people's comments? Hey, Lulu. That money for Lynette disappeared. Yeah, 9 Chins is a troll. Hence the name. The only person who I actually know with 9 chins besides me is Fat Bastard from that movie. All right. As it would cause witnesses to incur substantial expense to have to travel 5 hours, stay overnight, etc. if proceedings are in Gainesville, the 100-mile rule enables compelling attendance by subpoena. Relative means of the parties. Courts should also consider relative means, including the financial means of the parties, Hernandez v. Grable Van Lines, where disparity between the parties exists, such as an individual plaintiff suing a large corporation. The court may consider the relative means of the parties in determining whether to transfer. Noting that the court shall consider, or should consider, relative financial hardship on the litigants in litigating competing fora. Plaintiff asserts that the relative means of the parties favor transfer because the plaintiff is indigent. Okay, I have a problem with this because y'all have said you've raised so much money for her. And the fact that she's had so many... Yes, Austin Powers is Spy Who Shagged Me, thank you. It was not coming to, like, all the actors were coming to mind, but the name of the movie was not coming to mind. And I know rebrand it, yeah. It's, you can't claim this and then have money raised in a public forum. And also, raising money by super chats is really bad because YouTube takes 30%. And FYI, Give, Send, Go takes a lot less than GoFundMe as well. I timed you out because I felt like it. That was not my mods. That was all of me. So, that was me. Bubbles said be more concerned about Larry. Oh, yeah, Larry is still a thing. I'm just not gonna... Yes, right here. And sometimes I feel like timing people out just for the sake of timing people out. And it's my channel. I do what I want. If you don't like me, don't care. I am not doing this for views. I am doing this because this is entertaining to me. So if it's entertaining to me, I might as well share it with you. And I promise I will probably do that Maya Kowalski stream because that is the drama that we need to talk about that I don't really want to talk about because I like everybody involved in that situation, and it's just giving J Hatch the ability to sit back and laugh, which I don't like. I don't like big medicine. That's why I no longer work in big medicine. In the medical industrial complex because of things like the Maya Kowalski trial. She wasn't the first person that I've seen treated like that. Usually just because I worked with adults, it was the patient themselves not being able to advocate for themselves and not a family member. So the CA the child abuse aspect was not involved in the situations that I've seen, but like I've seen some things where I looked at doctors and I'm like, why did you say that? Or why did you do that? So, and me only being an OTA, I didn't have a whole lot of pull, but I could help my patients stand up for themselves, which was quite nice. Plaintiff asserts the relative means of the parties favor transfer because the plaintiff is indigent and incarcerated, whereas the FDC is a state agency with a $2.4 billion annual budget, and Centurion is a large corporation. Defendants, however, argue that these facts do not make Tallahassee more convenient for him, so insofar the plaintiff currently incarcerated in the Florida Okaloosa Correctional Institution. Some of these states that have a lot of their names from Native American heritage, my pronunciations suck. Not only is the financial disparity between the plaintiff and the defendants glaring, but the plaintiff has declared publicly that his purpose in filing this lawsuit is to cause financial hardship, not to prevail on the merits. See Exhibit A. The defendants are indigent, and travel imposes a disproportionate burden on them and is detrimental for their special needs child. You keep bringing up the child. Leave the child out of it. She didn't have a problem leaving the child for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours when she was in court in Levy County with Judge Grudge. So, left out in a vehicle in Florida. Without being... So, the facts... Illinois. I'm from Wisconsin, Stacy. Like, I'm from that crate. You lived in Wisconsin. You should be named used to native cities. I can say Wyomega. Yeah. So, I don't say Illinois, if that's what you mean. But I do call Illinois people, fibs. If you know, you know. Yeah, speaking of Larry, on a totally other subject, Larry is from Louisville, so he knows all about this. I need to know if they suck for me as much as they suck for everybody else, or if they suck for everybody else as much as they sucked for me. Here. Oh, watch out, baby girl. You are too tall. I have to go get a snack. You want a snack? No. What we want? No. You want to come up here? Have a hug? Okay. Okay. You go get what you want and I'll open it for you, okay? You have your snack box. Why do you pretend that you care about the child now? Yeah. Patricia, it's my channel, and I've had run-ins with that person before. So not everybody acts like a grown-up when they should, and I have the right to not want to be annoyed by people on my channel. And if you don't like it, there's thousands of other YouTube channels to watch. The weight of accorded to a plaintiff's choice of forum. The plaintiff chose Gainesville to file his lawsuit. If he opposes transfer, there is not for any reason that Pensacola is somehow more convenient, but to maximize the burden and expense for the defendants, should transfer be denied, or at least their underside counsel by being forced to prepare the present motion rather than the plaintiff consenting under 28 U.S. Code 1404B. He admitted publicly that his purpose for litigating, see Exhibit A, forum's familiarity with governing law. The factor obviously does not weigh against transfer. Trial efficiency in the interest of justice. In the interest of justice is a separate element of the transfer analysis that relates to the efficient administration of the court system. Research Automation, Inc. In analyzing this factor, courts consider 1, where the action is most likely to be expeditiously and efficiently litigated. That right there is why it was moved from Gainesville to Pensacola. That's why when he filed it in Gainesville said Pensacola is going to handle it. I mean, I'm sure there was more to it than that, but layman's terms. This is why. Expeditiously litigated. They would have had to wait, dragging this out even longer and making it more expensive for everybody than to move it to Pensacola and have it tried this year. Judicial economy and docket congestion in the compelling districts or divisions. You really didn't do the research with this one, did you, bub? 3, each party's ability to enforce a judgment. 4, whether transfer would allow for consolidation of litigation. 5, the relationship of each community to the controversy. And 6, any obstacles to a fair trial that the parties may encounter in the competing venues. Because in the interest of justice factor is a distinct component of the 1404A analysis, it may be determinative in a particular case even if the convenience of the parties and witnesses might call for a different result. All of the factors weigh in favor of a transfer. But do they, though? The action would be more efficiently and expeditiously litigated in Gainesville, where all the parties, witnesses, and counsel are in close proximity, thus avoiding all the issues requiring parties, witnesses, and counsel to travel 5+ hours to attend court proceedings in Pensacola. However, you efficiently and expeditiously, like, I might have the wrong definition of expeditious, but right now, expeditious in Gainesville due to backlog is not, those two aren't, those two don't go together right now. They talk about being rude to people and timing them out. Have you been to the live stream? They do and say all the horrible things to commenters. Yeah, I timed one person out because I didn't want to deal with their crap today. So, you know what? And I timed them out for 5 minutes. Suck it up, Buttercup. Suck it up. But Bubbles is doing this as the judge worked Bubbles out, and Bubbles don't like it. And I kind of think that. There is no issue of judicial economy or docket congestion that could justify the incredible burden and inconvenience of holding proceedings so far away from where all the parties, witnesses, and counsel reside. How do you know? There is no issue of enforceability of judgment connected to either location. There is a stark contrast in the relationship of each community to the controversy favoring transfer. Pensacola has no connection whatsoever to the events or people involved. That's kind of the point also. Like, that's the point in a jury trial, is for your jury to be non-biased. And I'm sorry, but if you were to hold this anywhere near Levy County, it could be biased. It could be biased. Yeah, courts are not for convenience. If courts were for convenience, our judicial system would be completely different. Let's check on Yoda's 506. And Bubbles, if you even show your face on Yoda's stream for Saturday for Uncle Frank's memorial service in any way, shape, or form, I will ban you forever from every channel you are ever on, and I'm a mod on. By the way. And I am a mod on 7 or 8 different channels. Why? I'm not really sure. But if you even show your face, if I type your name into chat and I see that your name comes up, or any alias that you are using, or there are any trolls in that chat, I am going to ban you. So if somebody else decides to change their name and troll, I'm still blaming you. I'm going to put that out there now so that there is no, well, you never told me. Yeah. Whereas all the events and people involved are in Levy County, less than an hour from Gainesville, which is the closest federal courthouse for all of them. Finally, the defendants would encounter significant obstacles to a fair trial in Pensacola because given their limited means and the distance and their care for a special needs child, just being able to attend trial is a major financial and logistical burden. Yet what is happening to all that money that you are supposedly raising for her? Where is all of that going? Because with the amount of money that you guys have supposedly raised, a hotel and gas for a 5-hour road trip should not be that hard. They are prejudiced by being unable to attend any pretrial proceedings to follow the case. There has been no waiver of right to seek transfer. The defendants have not waived their right to seek transfer by litigating thus far as the case has been in Pensacola. Plaintiffs additionally argue defendants waived their rights to seek transfer of venue. It's unlikely defendants have waived a challenge based on foreign non-convenience grounds. C-14D, Charles Allen Wright, Arthur R. Miller, Edward H. Cooper, Federal Practice and Procedure, Statute 3828. In modern litigation, there is generally no time limit on when a motion to dismiss for forum nonconvenience must be made, which differentiates from the time limits on a motion to dismiss for improper venue set out in Rule 12H. Nor has there been any waiver by virtue of agreeing to a magistrate, as explained in Jones Real Estate v. Avatel Tex. The plaintiff argues that CIT Group, as well as the other parties to the case, consented to magistrate judge jurisdiction and did not consent to reassignment to any other or successor magistrate judge. The plaintiff fails to cite any case law to support its position that a consent to magistrate judge jurisdiction precludes the party from filing a motion to transfer venue. CIT Group argues that the plaintiff's waiver argument lacks merit and relies on Jaramillo v. Dinequity. In Jaramillo, the court explained that a defendant does not waive the right to request a transfer of venue under 28 U.S. Code Statute 1404A by consenting to the jurisdiction of a magistrate judge to decide the case. Like the plaintiffs in Jaramillo, or I'm hoping I'm saying that name right, in the present case, the plaintiffs misunderstands the effect of consenting to this court's jurisdiction under 28 U.S.C. Statute 636C1. The Jaramillo court explained further that the parties have only consented that a magistrate judge, not a district judge, will decide all motions brought before the court, including this motion to transfer venue. Like the defendants in Jaramillo, the consent to magistrate judge does not prevent the defendant from seeking to transfer this case. Oh, I don't know anything about that. I really don't watch them. I just hear snippets here and there. Like, yeah, you can ask, but you might be denied. Like, you can ask for anything, but that doesn't mean you're going to get what you want. The plaintiff's position on transfer. In response to the undersigned's email, footnote 1, asking if the plaintiff would consent to a motion under 28 U.S. Code 1404, the plaintiff's counsel wrote, "I told you why I object. This is another reason, as it appears the case is still in the Gainesville division. You're moving to transfer a case that's already still in the Gainesville division. You're also doing it not for purposes of convenience of witnesses, as many witnesses are not going to be from Florida, and it doesn't matter whether they fly into Pensacola or Gainesville. What you are doing is a thinly veiled attempt to remove the magistrate. This will be brought out and fleshed out in detail in our reply, along with a Rule 11 motion for sanctions, and possibly even a count against you for abuse of process." Ooh. Every factor weighs clearly and heavily in favoring of transferring all proceedings to Gainesville. Most fundamentally, all witnesses and parties, considering all witnesses are not from even the state of Florida, that's not true. So, you lied? Yeah. Oh, Bubbles, you're the best lawyer Jeremy never had to pay for. And I'm trying to be as non-biased as possible, but when one side keeps attacking me and the other side does not, yeah, he put in the response, plaintiff's counsel wrote, I'm going to read this again. In response to the undersigned's email asking if the plaintiff would consent to a motion under 28 U.S. Code 1404, the plaintiff's counsel wrote, I told you why I object. This is another reason, as it appears, the case is still in the Gainesville division. You're moving to transfer a case that's already still in the Gainesville division. You're also not doing it for purposes of convenience of witnesses, as many witnesses are not going to be from Florida. And it doesn't matter why they fly to whether they fly to Pensacola or Gainesville. What you are doing is a thinly veiled attempt to remove the magistrate. This will be brought out and fleshed out in detail in our reply, along with a Rule 11 motion for sanctions, and possibly even a count against you for abuse of process. Oy vey. Oy vey. Oy vey. Oy vey. I just can't. Every factor weighs clearly and heavily in favor of transferring all proceedings to Gainesville. Most fundamentally, all witnesses and parties live less than 1 hour from Gainesville and more than 5 hours from Pensacola. Shockett just said above that they don't. Like, a lot of the witnesses don't even live in Florida. So you contradicted yourself. Oh, this is why, Bubbles, you give me migraines. Oh my goodness. Dude. The difference between same-day and overnight travel and any and all court proceedings. All of the events occurred in Levy County, and there's no connection whatsoever of the parties or witnesses to events in Pensacola. Footnote 1, plaintiff's counsel adamantly refuses any phone communication, including additional calls in furtherance of narrowing issues raised in the plaintiff's motion to compel. Interesting. Because that phone call is supposed to be done by today. And I'm pretty sure that Shockett would not go against judge's orders. Just got a feeling. There's an energy drink with 800 milligrams of caffeine. How is that legal? Or safe? Oh. This sort of thing will drive a person to drink avidly. Well, I don't drink. I have like one glass of wine like every 3 weeks. Hi from Australia. I have no idea about these cities. TripAdvisor is $78 a night rooms. Booking now, you can secure all your accommodations and save spending more money and filing motions. Slug. Oh. Slug. Dude, no caffeine for you. I'm okay. Ew, no. Spotted cow. Yeah, I am reading a public document. I had to pay $2 for, but whatever. The defendants would be unable to attend any of the future court proceedings unless they are held in Gainesville. There is no need for a hearing on this motion, as the court could transfer sua sponte under 28 U.S. Code 1404A. See James v. Lake County Sheriff's Office. Magistrate sua sponte recommendation transfers under 28 U.S. Code 1404A. All relevant factors weigh in favor of transfer. There we go. Brucey Bruce. Certification in compliance with local rule 7.1b and certification of service to Randy Shockett. Exhibit A. Here's that deposition of Jeremy Hales, Volume 2. And we read this yesterday, so I'm not going to read it again. If you guys want to read it, it's only one page, but well, whatever. It's only one page. Mr. Matskin, Exhibit 102. Could you read out loud the text beginning with "our haters" and skipping the timestamp? Our haters can't stop talking about us even when they have legal documents in their hand. Even when they continue. know they're going to be sued, and I'm arguing with myself by reading both parts. It's weird. Know they're going to be sued, even though they know they're going to lose everything in a lawsuit, because a lawsuit isn't to win a lawsuit. It's to make sure you spend all your money on a lawyer and bankrupt you. That's what the win is. I could care less if I win in court. If I win in court situation, my goal is to make sure you have no money. And that's not exactly wrong. That's one of the reasons that people sue these days, is to make a point. Because they know they're not going to get anything. Say, can't afford, but got a new bicycle and a new fence. Yeah. That is the goal of the lawsuit and what they do. They want to keep doing and talking about us. Okay, now I've created this exhibit from May 21st, 2023. What the Hales live stream, of which the link appears. Do you doubt the accuracy of my cutting and pasting of what you said on the date? I do doubt it, because I speak incomplete and there was a sentences. So he took this, Bubbles. I read this part of the deposition too. You took this. You didn't let him finish answering the question. Said, do you doubt the accuracy of my cutting and pasting of what you said? He says he does doubt it because he speaks incomplete sentences, and I know there was more. So I'm disabled with RA. I don't take painkillers or drink alcohol. I consume a massive amount of hot peppers. Yeah, I use a lot of today's an interesting pain day. Like, one side of my body hurts and the other side doesn't. I don't know what I was doing yesterday that made like one side hurt and the other side not. It's so weird today. I don't drink either because there's no sense in, like, one, wasting money. Mr. Squid doesn't drink anymore either. And it's like wasting money for something that's going to make me feel like crap the next day. It's just not worth my time, you know? I put water and Mio in a wine glass and a little bit of cranberry juice, and makes it, makes me think I'm having a drink. I like mocktails these days. He did a liberal hack job of the transcript, clip and cut and then paste and never full clip. Yeah. And a lot of things can be taken out of context on both sides. JH is saying he's not going to let them get his money. And I didn't see the original clip, but I don't know, I woke up with a kinked neck on Sunday. Still hurts turning my head today, but I don't want 1/10 of the pain you go through. And some days it's like, I don't know if I'm just getting used to it, or like, this is why I have to keep moving, because like my right foot is asleep. And we had a phrase in therapy called motion is lotion. That's why I have to move. Because if I don't move, you get stiff and you hurt. There's a fine line between moving not enough and moving too much. So I'm gonna laugh at this, but I'm not going to say it because it's funny. But I am going to look at. I promised you guys at the end, we would look at the YouTube video of Zachary Belatho. Here we go. This was 8 years ago when he was a Campbell law professor. And we're not going to watch the whole video, but it's come on. Watch on YouTube. I'm having a boomer moment because I didn't look it up directly on the website on YouTube. I just Googled it.
Careless. That's how FBI Director James Comey described former U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's handling of sensitive, even classified information on a private email server.
Send the summer
Still,
safe.
Comey
Love it.
recently concluded no reasonable prosecutor would pursue criminal charges of impression.
Well, my first impression.
Spell out this case or lack of case against Hillary Clinton. What was your first?
Let's see.
University Law School professor Zachary Bolitho. He is a former federal prosecutor. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So you heard the FBI director.
You know what I mean? He just
spell
has
out this
a presence.
case or lack of case against Hillary Clinton. What was your first impression?
Well, my first impression was that the entire press conference itself was very odd. And
Yeah, I'm not going to play the rest of it. One, because of copyright, and two, his opinion on that could be controversial to some. And this is a really good point right here. Yeah, this is Judge McDreamy. And for those of you who are laughing or don't understand why we gave him a nickname, if you know, you know, but we give most judges a nickname, like the judge in the Maya trial. Hunter Carroll was named the Tuft of Justice because he was going bald except for this one like swirl of hair right here, and he was such a good judge, but it was like the Tuft of Justice. We gave the seventh floor coven was the nickname for the nursing staff, because they all looked like the hands and feet of Jesus. It's some people were, yeah, but he's not, he's a magistrate, yes, but he's still a federal court. He's still a judge. At the end of the day, Judge Darrow was, I don't know, she was too annoying for me to give her a nickname. I'm not a fan of hers. I thought she explained herself too much, and she put up with too much of homeboy's antics. Like, but that guy, I'd like to see him get some, I would have liked Wisconsin to have the unaliving penalty for that case, because, yes, she had zero control of his courtroom. Zero control of her courtroom. She let, yeah. It's never done in disrespect. I've never known anybody to give a nickname for someone they didn't like. I thought like a couple of people who shall remain nameless, because I don't want to bring up their names and their cases. Like the video in the chat. Judge Mommy. Yeah, I heard a couple people. It's like a wine mom trying to control their rowdy toddler. Yes, blame Megan. Blame Megan. I just blame Megan. We all blame Megan. Yes, she gave the tuft of, somebody in chat gave the tuft of justice, I think, but she started running with it, and I'd do it too. Yeah, I do. That's one of my issues. But that's where if you don't move enough, you hurt, and if you move too much, you hurt. You have to find this fine line, and I haven't quite got that. Like, to be fair, all right, but that is Judge Bolitho, and we did not hit the hack. Think of a cat. I think he's just been Kranik. Not sure if he's gotten a nickname because of the absurdity of the Sarah trial. Yeah, I couldn't think of a good nickname for Kranik either, because of the amount of the amount of patience he had. Like, the amount of patience he had to deal with her, especially when she was pro se. It's so weird. So weird. When do they have to appear in court again? I have the timeline written down in my notebook. They have to complete mediation by the 15th of February. That one's right in front of me. I just have it open to this page because on February 12th, there's the oral arguments for the Second District Court of Appeals in the Maya Kowalski case. So I have it open to that page. That is the next deadline besides the completion of a phone call today, which sounds like it didn't go very well just based on what was put in this motion that was filed yesterday. But I'm not entirely sure. Judge Arthur didn't because he's scary. Yeah, Judge Arthur is one man that I would not like to be in front of, as he's intimidating. Like, but I love the way he controls his courtroom, and I love the way he cares about his jury. Saint Judge, yes, Saint Judge. When is the next depo? That you would have to ask Brucey Bruce for. I don't know. The last thing that I heard was in the first deposition of Jeremy when he canceled Georgia's and did not say that he was ever going to reschedule it. So fibromyalgia is bad. I have the diagnosis. I heard a lot and I have fatigue. I hate it. Sorry, you're fine. And I understand a lot of people in this chat are not from the US and either English is not their first language or their English is different from our English. I'm fat, diabetic, and lazy. I'm not diabetic and I'm kind of not lazy, but I am fat. Boone Judge should be called the cat herder. All right, on that happy note, do you want to say goodbye? Here, come here. Come here. Okay. I have to get going. I have to do mama duties. We need to go play. And then we need to get down for a nap. Depending on how I feel today, there is I will do more Maya updates at like 1:30 or 2. If I'm feeling good, but we will definitely do night court where we will hopefully get through a lot more, if not finish the Joseph Ferlazzo case, because I am looking forward to moving on to this Navy vet versus CNN defamation trial, because me being a Navy vet and me disliking all things mainstream media, CNN being first on that list, Fox News being second on that list. I don't like any mainstream media, so whenever they get sued and it actually goes to trial, I'm all here for it. Bye, guys. Have a great day. Let's see if I can send you anywhere. I know that AJ is going live in about a half an hour. So we will see if she comes up. Redirect at noon. So that's about 35 minutes. Hey, Roslyn, your tell people to F off stream popped up. I have not seen. There we go. Is it Flash Fan? Is it the story of Jolly Jane? Yep, there we go. All right, guys, we are going to redirect to AJ, alternate juror. Go give her some love. She is amazing. And I have to get going. I will see you guys over there in a little while. Love ya. Bye. And remember, if you hate me, but you watch everything I do, you're still a fan. Bye, guys.